everything changes whenever you recontextualize the deep sleep state as the default rather than this waking state. Because it seems as though this is the default state for most people. We speak and act as if this waking state is reality with a capital R, and we treat sleeping as just something that we do on the sideline to rejuvenate and to heal, just to get back to reality with a capital R. But what happens whenever you shift that context, when you reverse it and treat deep sleep as the default state, as reality with a capital R, and you see everything else as secondary? It might feel intuitive to treat the waking state as the default because this is the state in which you learn everything about who you think you are, all of the events that have ever happened in your life that you associate as being you, as the catalyst that molded you into the type of person you are. All of that happened in the waking state. So it does seem natural to treat the waking state as if it's ultimate reality. But what if I said that everything that you think you know about yourself isn't really truly what you actually are, and it's actually backwards? That what you truly are is pure consciousness, meaning the simple substratum of awareness in which all the events happen. And the events that happen are not exclusively what you are, they are simply content within that substratum of awareness. So this distinction that I've made here of deep sleep is essentially non-REM sleep. That's whenever you're not having a dream. And this seems to be the state of sleep in which most people feel the most rejuvenated from. Whenever you wake up and you feel like you had a good night's sleep, typically whenever you feel like you had a good night's sleep, it wasn't because you were tossing and turning and having intense dreams that were capturing your attention. It's where you were sleeping peacefully without an experience happening at all. And you feel the most rejuvenated from deep sleep because that's where your attention is returning to its natural state. That is the default state, which you could think of as the equilibrium of a frequency wave, just the flat line where all of the waves arise and fall from. That substratum, that equilibrium, is essentially pure consciousness or pure awareness, which is simply the state of being present without any particular content of experience that you're aware of. So what happens is, as pure awareness, you remain in your natural state at perfect peace, and then an experience arises within you. It's the experience of having a dream, where you have your own dream avatar that navigates the dream world. And you could think of this as the subtle body. It's not quite as visceral and consistent as this waking state, which is the gross body. So you have a dream, and then you wake up from that dream into this waking state. And this is where everything is much more dense. It's more convincingly solid and real. So that's another reason why we treat this waking state as ultimate reality, because it seems more solid. It seems to capture the attention more. You could think of solidity as having a gravitational pull on your attention. And your attention is really just a concentration of you as awareness. So as pure awareness, you are contracting yourself more and more as you have these experiences of going through dreaming states and then the waking state. And in this waking state, you're so fixated on exclusive forms that you mistake your identity. You begin to think that you are this exclusive form because it seems so real, it seems so solid, and when you experience pain, it really has a sting to it. So this is why it feels natural to treat that physical body as the default you, what you truly are. But what if I said that's not exclusively what you are? That's not the default state. Because what you truly are would have to be that which does not come and go. If you're aware of the arising and passing of the waking state, if you go to sleep at night and you go from not having an experience to having a dream to experiencing the waking state again, the waking state is what comes and goes, so that's not what you are. Deep sleep, however, pure consciousness, never leaves. Whenever a dream arises, you're aware of the dream, and that is pure consciousness itself. You could think of it as a wall which has a movie being projected onto it. The wall is there the whole time, except the content of the movie comes and goes, and it's just that the moving pictures are more demanding of attention, so it seems natural to treat that as the only thing that's there, and all the while, the wall is being overlooked. In the same way, the experience comes and goes, and it's much more demanding of attention, but awareness never leaves. So what you truly are is the awareness itself, and this is why it's more truthful to treat the default state as deep sleep, where you're not having an experience at all, because that's you, your pure natural state, without the distractions confusing your attention into investing into a false identity. And in a strict sense, it's not that you're not the dreaming state or not the waking state. A key word here is just exclusive. You are all of it, but the intrinsic nature of yourself is deep sleep. It's pure consciousness without the impositions. And you will find that if you can shift your default state from this waking state where all of the problems arise from to the deep sleep state, you will feel much more rejuvenated even as you're moving through dreams and experiences in this waking state. You'll find that if you can keep your attention fixated on being the pure consciousness itself and not taking the forms to be too real, that you won't be so reactive to what happens. And this is essentially the cure for suffering. Suffering arises whenever you confuse your identity with an exclusive particular image. Because if you're something exclusive, then you're fighting a losing battle because all things are transient. So you'll have to endure the coming and going of experiences, and if you're confusing your identity with those transient phenomena, then you're going to suffer. You're going to cling on to something that never has a chance of lasting. But if you can focus your attention on being the pure awareness of the experience, then you can watch the coming and the going of phenomena without suffering as a result of it. So you'll notice, if you can shift your identity in this way to be pure conscious awareness, that you will feel a deep inner peace 24/7 behind the noise of the experience.